Hello and welcome to another episode of the Simon and Friends podcast. It's Thanksgiving week, so my friends all had to stay home this week, but never fear, we're still here and we have a fun week of content for you all. I am Simon Short. Thank you all so much for being here. If you're here on YouTube, welcome and thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe to the channel and comment any thoughts you have on this video. I started all of this just to talk ball with people, and that includes you. If you're listening on audio, thank you, as always, for being here. Please reach out on Twitter or however else you talk to me. Shoot a comment on Apple, Spotify, whatever it is. Would love to hear your thoughts as well, of course. In addition to this episode, whether you are watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast platform of your choosing, you also want to head over to the Box Score Network YouTube channel this week to supplement this shorter episode that we have for Thanksgiving, and honestly, because I wanted to do this other video that's going to go up on Box Score Network this week. I have the latest installment of the Views from the Press Box series, which is me doing a film room for the 2026 NFL Draft prospects. I have the latest installment of that going up this week, Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson. So it's been a while since I've gone back and done any quarterback stuff for the draft so far. Ben and I will have a full episode on looking back at the quarterbacks again, taking a second work through as the names have vastly changed at the top of the draft order right now. But I'm starting to come back around to it. So Ty Simpson, I have a film room up on him that is going to be out this week. For today on the Simon and Friends podcast, it is the annual What We're Thankful For episode, where I take a look at three parties in the NFL and give what they're thankful for this NFL season. And usually what I like to do and what I've done here tonight is I pick one player, I pick one coach and or GM, and then one fan base. Um, so before I get into that, let's do a quick plug. Box Score Network. Some things moved around, some things are a little bit different, but for the most part, we're still giving you the best content you can look for. It's going to be all football. At this point, baseball season is over. College football is still obviously in the mix, so check out In the Flat. Two Peas on a Pod and Tricky Takes are going to be giving you NFL coverage as well. Pro Football Enterprises. Shout out to Ben Parker. We talk about it a lot. Odds on favorite, is still around. Him and Robertson, if you like that. If you like the bones of that show, go on Pro Football Enterprises. It's Ben YouTube show where Robertson and Ben, we've talked about it before, have their All Commanders podcast every single week. So check that out. But Pro Football Enterprises is Ben's passion project where he and Austin and Shane are doing a bunch of different things. So make sure you are checking that out as well. Let's get into our first award here for the night. So I'm gonna pick a player first. I'm gonna go with or it's not an award, but my first. What player is thankful for something this NFL season? This one's pretty easy. This is Caleb Williams. Is thankful for Ben Johnson. And listen, YouTube folks, I know I'm big Ed this week trying something out. So let me know. Make fun of it if you want to. Can I scoot that over? Let me scoot that over a little bit for you all. Um, Appreciate you all being here. But anyways, the player that is most thankful for something this NFL season is Caleb Williams to Ben Johnson for coming in and being his head coach. We went in depth with this last week, me and Peyton, and some clips of that are posted on socials and whatnot. But things are headed in the right direction for Caleb Williams in his career now that Ben Johnson is in town. And first off, let me get in front of this for the Caleb Williams fans. Don't take this as like, I thought Caleb Williams was trash until Ben Johnson came in. Oh, Caleb Williams would have been a first round bust, a failure. This is just like organizationally, the franchise is headed in the right direction. The offensive schematics are obviously in a much, much better situation. The attention to detail and focus on the roster around Williams changed vastly when Ben Johnson came to town. So this isn't, oh my gosh, Caleb Williams was horrible and now Ben Johnson's here and he saved him. This is just Caleb Williams like, thank goodness I have a coach that's an offensive wizard with a good head on his shoulders who knows what it takes to win and put together a good team. And now that guy is here to help me continue to grow my career. So Caleb Williams fans, this is not an anti-Caleb Williams thing. I just want to make that perfectly clear as best I can. Um, but anyways, we went into detail with this last week with Peyton. Last year, Williams was 29th in EPA per dropback, 25th in completion percentage over expectation, 33rd in yards per attempt, and he took 68 sacks on the season. The Bears last year were 5-12, and they finished 28th in the league in points per game. This year, He's up to 13th in EPA, 17th in yards per attempt, and he's on pace for fewer than 30 sacks, while the Bears are leading the NFC North at 8 and 3, and they are 8th in the NFL in points per game. I'm not going to lie by omission here. He's 34th in CPOE this year. That's a bit of accuracy issues, which he still has. That's a bit about drops this year from the Bears receivers, especially. But it is still something to work on. So I didn't want to just gloss over that, but that is something that will continue to be worked on. But so much of his game, so much of the advanced analytics, so much of the offense overall and how it's working is obviously so much better with Ben Johnson. So we've seen an insane number of first overall pick quarterbacks just never figure things out, with coaching being a huge reason for it. Caleb should feel thankful that Chicago scored Ben Johnson in the last head coaching cycle to come in and help turn the franchise around. Again, not an anti-Caleb thing, not a Caleb can now have a good career because of Ben Johnson. Just this is now a stable environment with a high ceiling and high floor with a good head coach in there to help Caleb Williams and the player that he is. So while I think Caleb should be thankful, this isn't all Ben Johnson's the real reason Caleb Williams is good. Don't get it twisted. Next up, I'm going with my coach GM category that is most thankful for something this NFL season. And it's Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard are thankful to Daniel Jones just for simply working out. Um, I was very vocal and wrongly so about how this situation was going to go with the Colts this season. But I think the Colts might be just as surprised as I am at how well this has gone. They signed Daniel Jones to that big 1 year contract to compete with Anthony Richardson, but very few people saw that as a contract that meant, hey, Daniel Jones is actually going to be the starter, let alone if he became the starter, he would actually be good and the team would be good. But Jones is seventh in EPA per dropback, fifth in CPOE, fifth in yards per attempt. The team this year is 8 and 3, first in the NFL in scoring. Steichen was entering year three with the franchise this year, and his stint was tied to Anthony Richardson, right? He is hired the year that he essentially, I know he's third quarterback taken, but says, hey, Anthony Richardson is a quarterback that I can build up and build around. And obviously, that was a huge flame out. Ballard has been with the team since 2017, and he's gone through veteran after veteran after veteran at quarterback. Tries the first round draft pick, that doesn't work. And he only had 4 winning seasons up until this year. If Daniel Jones doesn't play as well as he has, and the Colts had another disappointing season, whether that was Anthony Richardson starts and still doesn't show to be the guy or can't get through the year healthy, they don't have a good backup plan, or this Daniel Jones experiment was the full 17 games and he just wasn't good, I'm not sure Steichen or Ballard are back in 2026. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if both of those guys got extensions this offseason, along with Daniel Jones surely getting a new contract as well, and this team moving forward in a much more positive direction than where it looked like they were going to be, I don't know, 6 months ago. So my second award, or second, I'm calling these awards, but my second, who is thankful for what is certainly Ballard and Steichen for this experiment going well in Indianapolis. Last up, Seattle Seahawk fans. I wanted to go with the fan base here. Seattle Seahawk fans just have to be really thankful for Mike McDonald and John Schneider, and this is several layers deep. So not only is this about the success that Seattle is happening, but it's hard not to look south and see the struggles that have been happening in Las Vegas. As a Steeler fan, I know what it can be like to have a tremendously talented and accomplished coach stuck in a bit of a rut. Pete Carroll was the top man in Seattle from 2010 to 2023, and in the 9 seasons post the 2014 Super Bowl loss, the Seahawks had one 12-win season, one losing season, and never got past the divisional round. So just a lot of 9 to 11 win seasons, a few playoff appearances, a few playoff misses, a couple playoff wins, but never anything substantial in terms of getting back to the top of the mountain, being back on a Super Bowl run. After 2016, the defense never even ranked in the top 10 in points or yards allowed. And obviously, that was the calling card for Pete Carroll and those Legion of Boom days in Seattle. So Carroll is gone, and in comes Mike McDonald. Now, in year two of Seattle, or now in his second year in Seattle, McDonald already has this team at 8 wins by the end of November, and they're a top five team on offense and on defense. McDonald took less than a year to install his defensive vision, which we saw bear fruit last year at this time, essentially towards the end of the year, that defense started to turn around, and we knew it was going to be good going into the year, and it's proven to be that. After 1 year of Ryan Grubb and Geno Smith on offense, McDonald ripped the band-aid off and went with Clint Kubiak and Sam Darnold, who have turned the offense all the way around with almost the same supporting cast, minus DK Metcalf, add Gray Zabel, and this is now a top five offense. Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, we're seeing how things are going for Carroll. He's fired two of his coordinators in season, something he never did in Seattle. Geno Smith looks like a shell of himself, leading the league, I think, in turnover still at this point. Um, Slamming his helmet, just not having a good time. Points are not being scored. Obviously, Chip Kelly is the latest firing that has happened. And this team is spiraling to a top five pick. Fans in Seattle were certainly shocked when Carroll was fired, and at best, there was maybe a quiet relief just to try something new. But no one expected things would be this good in Seattle while things were this bad for Carroll in his next stop. And listen, it's not over for Carroll yet. I would not be surprised if he gets to stick around and this was the like quote unquote like foundation laying type season. It's hard to see what that foundation is right now because you don't have a quarterback, you don't have an offense. I mean, maybe you can say the defense is going somewhere, but listen, that's not what this award is about. Um, if you're a fan of Seattle and you're seeing what's happening for your team, and you're seeing what's happening in Vegas with your old coach, you're really thankful for where you're at right now. Okay, that's going to do it for today. Again, thank you to all of you so much for listening to this quick episode. Again, please go check out the latest Views from the Press Box film room on Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson. That can be found over on the Box Score Network YouTube channel. Check that out. You'll also get player profiles from Ben, Austin, and Shane from Pro Football Enterprises. Those will be there, but you can check out even more of those player profiles on Ben's channel. So you get some on Box Score, but you get all of them on Ben's channel. So check that out as well as all of the other pods as well. If you're here on YouTube again, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comment. If you're listening to the audio, as always, we really appreciate you. Until next time, have a great week. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the football. Of course, have fun and be safe out there.